my beloved child. Those who join together to oppose you are gradually losing their position because they never understood the quiet strength I placed within you. I am not saying this to feed pride, make you consider yourself superior to others, or cause you to rejoice over anyone's difficulties. I am saying it so that you will stop viewing yourself through the slander, misunderstanding, and unfair treatment you once endured. Some people believed that if they exhausted you, isolated you, or planted enough doubt, you would eventually abandon your path. They mistook your gentleness for weakness, interpreted your silence as fear, and assumed that your compassion meant you were unaware of what was happening. But you saw more than you expressed, understood more deeply than you revealed, and endured far longer than others could imagine. I formed within you an inner strength that does not need to display itself, a light that does not need to compete, and a steadfastness that becomes firmer each time it is tested. What unsettled certain people was not that you had done anything to threaten them, but that your genuine presence unintentionally exposed what they were trying to conceal. When you refuse to participate in pretense, those accustomed to living behind masks become uncomfortable. When you do not allow yourself to be manipulated, those who desire control begin to regard you as an obstacle. When you preserve kindness but no longer tolerate disrespect, those who once took advantage of your softness may claim that you have changed. In truth, you have not become cold. You are simply maturing. You have not lost compassion. You have learned not to grant everyone access to your life. You do not need to feel guilty for protecting your peace, because healthy boundaries are not punishments imposed upon others. They are fences that guard the precious things I entrusted to you. I saw what was taking place in rooms where you were not present. I know that certain words were distorted. Stories were told without the whole truth, and comments were used to diminish your value in the eyes of others. Some smiled before you, but spoke in a different tone after you turned away. Others did not openly oppose you, yet remained silently in agreement because they feared losing their place within the group. You may have sensed a change in the atmosphere, unfamiliar expressions, or doors that suddenly became more difficult to approach. But you lacked enough evidence to explain everything. I do not want you to become consumed with tracing every word or discovering what everyone thinks. Your peace is more valuable than winning an unnecessary argument. What has been hidden will eventually reveal itself through results, attitude, and the inconsistencies of the very people who created it. You do not need to become the one who exposes everything. You only need to continue living with integrity so that truth has room to speak for itself. There were times when you wanted to stand and explain, to recount every detail so that others would understand you were not the person they had described. I understand that desire, because being misunderstood is one of the heaviest burdens a heart can carry. Yet not every accusation deserves an answer, and not everyone who asks a question is searching for truth. Some only want you to react so they can gain something else to use against you. Therefore, learn to recognize when you should speak and when silence is the strongest response. Silence does not mean you accept what is wrong. Sometimes it demonstrates that you no longer permit confusion to control your actions. When speech is necessary, speak clearly, calmly, and directly. When it is unnecessary, allow time and your character to testify. Those with a sense of justice will recognize the truth, while those determined not to believe you will remain unchanged even after hundreds of explanations. The people who attempted to obstruct your path may believe they caused you to fall behind. But those very obstacles developed abilities within you that an easy road could never have produced. You learned to stand without the support of a crowd, to work faithfully even when your effort was not recognized, and to preserve your dignity when others tried to drag you into degrading conflict. What they intended to use to weaken you became an instrument that sharpened your discernment. The doors they tried to close caused you to discover a more suitable path. The positions they attempted to keep from you forced you to realize that you did not need to force your way into a place incapable of valuing you. Sometimes rejection is not the end, but a redirection that moves you out of a narrow room and into a wider place. Therefore, do not view the difficult months merely as stolen time. They were also the place where you were prepared to carry greater responsibility without losing humility. The decline of those who opposed you does not necessarily need to appear through a dramatic event or a scene that attracts the attention of the world. It may happen quietly. Their words lose influence. Relationships built upon envy begin to fracture, or dishonest plans expose their own weakness. When a group is united only by the desire to diminish someone else, they cannot preserve unity for long, because suspicion eventually turns inward among them. The person who speaks with them about you today may become the next subject of similar words tomorrow. That is the nature of a foundation built upon jealousy. It cannot produce lasting security. You do not need to hope that they suffer loss, and you certainly do not need to ask for harm to come upon them. Allow everyone to face the outcome of their choices, while you keep your hands clean, your speech pure, and your heart free from bitterness. As the influence of what is false gradually weakens, you will begin to notice appropriate opportunities drawing near. Someone who once heard an inaccurate story about you may discover the truth for themselves. A delayed door may open in a way no one can prevent. Or perhaps what you receive will not be a more visible position before others, but freedom from an environment that exhausted you for too long. Do not limit my support to a single form. Sometimes being lifted means being recognized. At other times, it means being removed from a place that is no longer suitable. Sometimes the blessing is a new opportunity, but sometimes it is the peace that causes words that once wounded you to lose their power. Whatever form the change takes, receive it with gratitude. Do not use it as an opportunity to return and mock those who once despised you. Genuine maturity is revealed most clearly when you have enough power to retaliate but still choose to act with compassion. I want you to understand that what makes you different is not a crown for self-exaltation, but a responsibility to serve with wisdom and love. You recognize falsehood not so that you may live suspiciously, but so that it cannot lead you. You possess the ability to reach those who are suffering, not so that you will carry every problem on their behalf, but so that you may offer comfort while preserving boundaries. You were given endurance not so that you will accept injury forever, but so that you may possess the courage to leave what is wrong without losing your goodness. Do not turn your uniqueness into a distance that prevents you from receiving correction. Not everyone who disagrees with you is jealous, and not every closed door is the result of opposition. Preserve humility so that you can distinguish intentional resistance from ordinary differences in life. Genuine discernment does not cause you to see enemies everywhere. It enables you to observe calmly, verify through actions, and refuse to allow fear to write the story in place of truth. From this moment forward, stop measuring your worth by the way others treat you. Someone's inability to recognize your light does not mean that light has been extinguished. A group's refusal to grant you the position you deserve cannot erase the abilities I have cultivated within you. Focus upon the work entrusted to you. Strengthen what is still lacking, and allow results to mature in silence. When you spend too much energy watching those who oppose you, you unintentionally give them time that should have been devoted to your future. Do not live merely to prove them wrong. Live so that you become faithful to the best values within you. Success, built only as an answer to others, will never bring peace. But progress rooted in purpose, integrity, and the desire to bring goodness into the world will create a joy that no slander can take away. My beloved child, dishonest plans cannot stand forever. But your responsibility is not to sit and wait to watch them collapse. Keep moving forward. Keep your eyes upon the door opening before you, rather than the door closing behind you. When others lose influence because they misused it, use whatever influence you receive to support, protect, and create opportunities for those who were once overlooked. When discernment is given to you, do not use it to condemn, but to choose wisely. When you are placed in a higher position, do not forget the days when you were looked down upon, so that you do not repeat the very thing that caused you pain. I raise you not so that you can stand above others, but so that you can possess a broader vision, a more mature heart, and hands steady enough to complete your assignment. Release the desire for revenge. Keep your heart pure, and trust that truth does not need to be defended through confusion. What belongs to you will arrive at the proper time, while what was built upon envy will gradually lose its power. You only need to keep walking in peace, because your steadfastness has already become the clearest answer to every whisper once directed against your life. You must understand that what I am preparing for you is not a fragile love that easily changes or disappears when circumstances become difficult, but a connection strong enough to pass through stormy seasons while preserving faithfulness, respect, and peace. The world has shown you too many stories that began with beautiful promises and ended in silence. Too many people who called temporary passion love and abandoned one another when the first intensity faded. These things sometimes caused you to doubt whether every relationship eventually loses its strength, and whether lasting love is merely a distant dream intended for other people. But, my beloved, that has never been the pattern I appointed for you. I am not bringing someone into your life merely to stir your heart and then leave you alone among unanswered questions. What I build will have roots, a foundation, and the ability to remain firm, even when life does not unfold according to the wishes of either person. The connection being prepared is not based only upon emotional moments or outward attraction, because those things may change over the years. I am establishing its foundation upon truth, patience, and the ability to understand one another through both pleasant days and exhausting seasons. This person will not love only the radiant version of you that is easy for the world to see. They will also know how to remain when you need silence, when you cannot find the words to explain your emotions, and when you are still learning to heal the places that were once wounded. In return, you will also be taught to view them with mature compassion, without idealizing them or demanding perfection, but with a willingness to change, listen, and build together. The two of you will not avoid every disagreement, But you will learn not to turn disagreement into a weapon. There will be moments when you must lower your voice in order to protect love. Moments when truth must be spoken in order to preserve trust. And moments when forgiveness must be chosen instead of victory. These quiet decisions are what will make the relationship strong. Many people will be surprised when they see what I do in your life. Not because you need to display or prove anything, but because a healthy connection carries a light that cannot remain entirely hidden. The world has become accustomed to watching affection collapse when pressure, distance, misunderstanding, or gossip appears. People are familiar with seeing two individuals begin by holding each other tightly and gradually become strangers when life is no longer easy. Therefore, when they see you and this person walk through difficulty without humiliating one another, mature without competing, and preserve respect even in disagreement, they will recognize that something different is present. The peace between you will speak before you need to tell your story. The way this person protects you during vulnerable days and the way you support them when they lose direction will become evidence that love is not merely an emotion, but a choice renewed every day. I know there were times when you believed your opportunity had already passed. Perhaps you once met someone you considered right for you, and the relationship ended before you understood why. Perhaps you looked back upon an old decision and blamed yourself, thinking that everything might have remained in your hands if only you had acted differently, been more patient, or spoken sooner. But stop living beneath the weight of those assumptions. Nothing truly belonging to the plan I have for you can be stolen by one confusing moment or one closed door. What is meant for you will not lose its way merely because you have not yet seen it. Nor will it become invalid because the waiting lasts longer than you desired. What I prepared is still moving toward you, even when nothing appears to be changing outwardly. The delay you feel may be the necessary time for both of you to mature deeply enough, correct unhealthy patterns, and learn how to receive a good love without damaging it through old fears. There are separations I permitted not to punish you, but to protect a future you could not yet see. Certain doors caused pain when they closed, but had they remained open, they would have led you into years of exhaustion, where you would have continually surrendered your voice to preserve someone who did not truly want to grow with you. Some people were only suitable for a brief portion of your journey. They came to teach you about worth, boundaries, and what you should no longer accept. Their departure does not mean you failed. It may simply mean that the season of learning had been completed. I do not want you to carry bitterness toward your past, because even the things that made you cry helped open your eyes. Through them, you will recognize the difference between someone who merely creates excitement and someone who creates safety, between words that intoxicate you and actions that allow you to trust. When what is right enters your life, you will not have to remain forever in confusion, wondering whether you are loved. That love will not force you to analyze every message, every silence, or every small change in another person's behavior. It will bring enough clarity for your heart to rest, even though both of you will still need time to learn how to understand one another. This person will not make every problem disappear, but they will not leave you alone whenever problems arise. They will not promise that life will always be easy, but their actions will show that they are willing to face difficult days beside you. The peace you feel will not come because challenges no longer exist, but because you know you are standing next to someone who does not use difficulty as a reason to turn away. That sense of safety will gradually heal former confusion and help you understand that love does not need to be painful in order to be deep. You may wonder why this story carries an influence extending beyond the two of you. It is because I do not only want to heal the way you view love, I also want to use the maturity of both of you to plant hope again within those who no longer believe that something lasting is possible. When they see the way you respect one another's dreams, support each other's growth, and refuse to use weakness as a weapon, they will understand that a relationship can become a place of nourishment instead of confinement. When they witness that you no longer diminish yourself in order to be loved, and that this person does not need to lose their identity in order to be accepted by you, they will recognize that genuine connection does not control, but liberates. It does not weaken two people, but helps each become better. Your story will not require loud declarations, because the fruit within your lives will speak for itself. Even those who once doubted you will gradually recognize the change. They will see you becoming calmer, no longer chasing approval, and no longer easily shaken by the opinions of others. They will see this person becoming steadier beside you, and they will see you being encouraged to walk more confidently in your purpose. Not everyone will understand this journey, but you do not need universal agreement for what is genuine to possess value. You only need to remain humble. Do not turn blessing into a reason for pride, and do not display sacred things before eyes that only desire to investigate. Protect the peace between you through discretion, honesty, and gratitude. The greatest strength is not in causing the world to admire you, but in continuing to choose love rightly when no one is watching. Therefore, do not become discouraged by the waiting, and do not return to former doors merely because you fear that something new has not yet arrived. I have not forgotten the silent prayer you offered during lonely nights, nor have I forgotten your desire to meet someone who sees not only your appearance, but also understands your depth. Continue to mature. Continue to preserve gentleness, and do not allow former disappointments to make you closed. What I bring will not be weak before difficulty, because it will be nourished through truth, patience, and responsibility. At the appointed time, you will understand that the times you were required to release someone were not meaningless losses, but the clearing of a path for a connection healthy enough to remain. When that story begins, it will not only bring peace to your heart, it will also become a living testimony that something built upon the right foundation can pass through storms and still preserve its original beauty. My beloved child, I saw every battle you quietly endured throughout the season that appeared to offer no way forward, including the things you never possessed enough strength to speak aloud to anyone. I know what it felt like to awaken each morning with a long list of tasks to complete while your heart remained uncertain about where you were truly going. You became busy to the point of exhaustion, trying to keep everything from collapsing, attempting to do what was right and live responsibly. Yet the farther you walked, the more you felt that you were moving away from the place where you truly belonged. There were nights when you stared into the darkness and wondered why the doors you prayed for remained closed, why opportunities always seemed to stop just before reaching your hands, and why your prayers were answered by a prolonged silence. You once believed that perhaps I no longer heard you, but that silence never meant you had been forgotten. I know how heavily the numbers on your bills weighed upon you. I know there were times when you had to calculate every small expense while still attempting to remain calm before others. Certain jobs helped you survive, yet caused the deepest place within you to become increasingly dry, because you knew you were created for a purpose greater than merely living from one day to the next. You tried to remain grateful for what you possessed, while also fighting guilt, because you could not deny your longing for another path. I do not condemn you for that. The desire to live faithfully, according to your calling, is not ingratitude. It is evidence that the seed I planted within you remains alive. Yet, there are seasons when that seed must remain deep beneath the soil, unseen and uncelebrated, while even you are uncertain whether it still has the ability to rise. But what is hidden is not necessarily dead. Sometimes it is simply taking root. I also witnessed the wounds caused by other people. I saw those who once stood near you, claimed to understand you, and said they wanted to walk beside you, only to use the things you trusted them with as weapons to cause you pain. Some smiled when they were in your presence but planted cruel words in places where you were absent. Some promised faithfulness but left at the exact moment when you needed them most. That betrayal did not merely cause you to lose trust in them. It also caused you to question your own judgment. You wondered whether you were too innocent, too trusting, or too soft. But listen to me, your sincerity is not something shameful. The mistake was not that you loved genuinely. The wrongdoing belonged to those who failed to value the precious thing entrusted to them. I am teaching you to preserve gentleness while maintaining boundaries, to forgive without continuing to open the door to repeated harm. During those days, you also faced a weariness no one fully understood. There were mornings when you awoke feeling as though you had never rested. Moments when your body spoke through symptoms you could not name. And late hours when your mind suddenly filled with thoughts that would not allow you to be still. You tried so hard to remain strong that many people never recognized the instability within you. You continued saying that you were fine, fulfilling your responsibilities, and smiling when necessary. But when you returned to solitude, everything you had restrained rose to the surface. I was there during the moments when you lacked the strength to explain, when anxiety caused the future to appear obscured, and when sadness made you believe you would never find the place where you truly belonged. You were not weak because you experienced days like those. Exhaustion is not proof that your faith was insufficient. Sometimes it is simply the reminder that you carried too many burdens for too long without permitting yourself to rest or receive help. I know you watched others enter opportunities you believed you were also called to, and a feeling arose within you that caused both pain and shame. You rejoiced for them. Yet, you also wondered why your own time had not arrived. You hated that comparison because you did not want your heart to become narrow. But you could not deny the sadness of seeing someone else live within what you had prayed for over many years. I do not condemn you for that inner conflict. I only want you to understand that another person's journey is not a declaration that you have been removed from the plan. Their success does not take away what belongs to you. And the door that opened before them does not mean every door prepared for you has been locked. Each person possesses a different time, a different process, and different lessons that must be learned before they can carry what they once desired. You carried the burdens of a calling that no one around you possessed enough language to understand. You attempted to explain what you saw in the future and the relentless prompting within you. But your words were met with doubtful looks or shallow responses. This caused you to feel lonely, even while standing in a crowded room. You could speak, laugh, and blend in. Yet no one reached the depth where you held the dreams. responsibilities, and fears you did not know how to entrust to anyone. I want you to understand that not everyone has been given the ability to see what I placed within you. Some can only understand after they witness the result, because they were not equipped to believe during the season when the seed remained beneath the ground. You do not need to convince everyone that what you carry is real. Allow perseverance, character, and results arriving at the proper time to speak for you. What exhausted you most was not simply the waiting, but your uncertainty about whether you were being restrained or prepared. You wondered whether the repeated difficulties were punishment, whether the prolonged silence meant I had moved away, or whether you had missed an important step without realizing it. But, my beloved, preparation often resembles delay when you are standing inside it. I may use a closed door to protect you from a place that is not yet suitable, a season with few companions to teach you who is truly faithful, and months that appear slow to build within you the capacity to carry something greater. What you call standing still may be the process through which I am correcting the foundation. If I were to give you something new, while fear, the absence of boundaries, and the need to prove your worth still ruled within you, the blessing itself could become a burden. Therefore, do not quickly conclude that you have been left behind merely because you cannot yet see change with your eyes. Some movements take place very deeply, where no sound can announce them. I am separating you from habits that caused you to diminish yourself, correcting the way you view your worth, and helping you release relationships that only know how to receive without protecting what they are given. I am teaching you that purpose is not found only in a title, a stage, or a great achievement. It is also present in the way you remain faithful to what is right when no one sees, in the way you continue to act kindly after being wounded, and in the way you keep walking even though an answer has not appeared. The days that seemed meaningless are forming within you a depth that rapid success could never create.